All right. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the live. It's good to see you. I see a couple people already in the wings. Guys, if we haven't met, my name is Randall. I have a small charter down at Lewistown Lake, and you guys are welcome to connect with me on that. But I have a good one planned for tonight. I think I have some good material I'm going to go over with you. I think you guys who are tuning in for this live right now, you're in for a little treat. I got some cool stuff that I'm going to go over with you, and I think you're really going to love it. So I want to give people a chance, just kind of catch up. So let's get a 20 in the chat. Just type in the number 20. Somebody give me a number 20. We're going to do a countdown for 20 all the way down to 0, and then we'll start the live chat. So who's got a 20 for me? Someone type it into the live chat. We got a lot of things on the schedule coming up in front of us. I see 20. Let's see 19 in the chat, and you guys know how to follow it from there, right? 20 down to 19, down to 18, and keep it rolling, guys. Let's keep the countdown going. And as soon as we get to 0, we'll go ahead and start the live stream. But good evening, everybody. I spent a couple days out on Lewistown, so I got some stuff to share with you there. Of course, the title of the live stream is New Waters, so you best believe I'm going to be talking about some waters other than Lewistown Lake. So let's get the numbers counting down. We're down to 17. Let me see a 16 in the chat. We give people a chance just kind of get caught up. I like the idea of the countdown, too, because it gets people interacting a little bit. You know, that helps the algorithm as well. 15. Who's got a 14 for me? Let's count it down. I'm going to cover everything from, we'll say, central Pennsylvania to northwest Pennsylvania, all the way up to Erie, all the way back to here. I'm going to talk about some waters that we can all get on and fish together. Maybe some new ones to you, maybe some new ones to others and not to you. We're down to 11. Who's got 10 for me? Final 10. We're halfway, guys. Give me some help here. Give me the countdown. 10, 10, 10. Who's got it? I will say that you guys already probably know about some of these events that are coming up, and the nearest one right in front of us is Paddling and Bassin. I'm going to start out with that one because that's right here close to our home lake of Lewistown Lake. And if you have a kayak and you want to come out and join us, I'm going to go over that for a minute with you so you understand what it is, where it's at, what to expect, and everything. We're down to 6. Who's got 5 for me? The countdown's working good, guys. I appreciate the help on this. That helps feed the algorithm here for YouTube as well. It lets them know that the video is something people are engaged in and such. So it all helps out in a big, big way if you do the countdown. 2. Who wants it? Who wants to end the countdown? Who wants to finish it? Who wants the honors? Rick, you got 1? Who says 0? Time to start. Josh, you got 2. You were a moment too late to hit the 0. Who's got it? Melvin and Josh, you guys tied. Welcome to the live chat, guys. Thank you so much for stopping in. Like I said, if I hadn't talked to you yet, my name is Randall. I think if you're here, you probably have met me face to face because my channel's still pretty small. So most of the people here, we've interacted in person and such, so it's probably nothing new to you. But I got my trusty little notes here, so I'm going to go right to them. So Paddling and Bassin, it's the event that's right in front of us. So I'm going to share my window here with you. When you guys go to Facebook and you look up Randall Rydes Fishing, so you just use that little magnifying glass. You bring up Randall Rydes Fishing. And then underneath me here, you'll see more events. And then just scroll down a little bit there and you'll see my daughter here catching a nice bass all on her own. This is the nearest event coming up. And this is really close, guys. This is 2 weeks out. 2 weeks and 3 days, something like that. And it's May 31st. And this is in the evening. See how it says 6 p.m. there? What we're going to do is we're going to meet Friday night at the camp. And I'm going to go over where it's at here. It's in Mapleton, up by Huntington here. We're going to meet in the evening, and we're going to have a little camp out thing. There's a pizza joint close by, or you can start a fire and cook something if you want. But they have proper camping there for us. There's no cost to it. Just show up. There's no cost. And we're going to camp out, have a little fun, get the boats rigged and ready for the morning so that first thing, first light, first push, we can get right in the water and we can go do some fishing together off the kayaks. But this is Paddling and Bassin. This is going to be Probably the biggest event that the charter has year to year. We're getting a lot of feedback from this. It's a lot of fun. I haven't heard anybody complain about it yet. So please come out and join it. So the way it works is you get on here and you see the going tab here. Click on that so we can kind of keep a little count going. Just go there and click going. And then right down here there's a map so it can help you find the place. And I'm going to zoom out here and you'll see that Mapleton is just east of our beloved Raystown Lake. So you'll go up to Huntington and you'll catch 22 down to Mapleton, and that's where we'll meet up. So let me do this. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so that you can better understand where Mapleton Park is. So Mapleton is right here. It is. I just took it over to the Google Earth, if you will. This ball field right here is Mapleton Riverside Park. So if you find Mapleton Riverside Park, this ballpark right here, right down in this section, these are the camps. You can actually see some of the tenting stuff. There's some structures, but they're kind of underneath the trees. But this is where we're going to camp right here. And let me zoom out so you can get some perspective. Zooming out, there's Raystown Lake. Here's Huntington, Raystown Lake. So you're going to take 22, just heading east, and you're going to come up on Mapleton. And do not cross the river. Stay on your side of the river whenever you get down to Mapleton. And it's right next to the bridge. Don't cross the bridge. Just pass the bridge. And Mapleton Park is on your right-hand side if you're heading this way. And so there's the ballpark. So you'll pass the pavilion and stuff that's there, and you'll turn in this gravel road. And we're right back here by the boat launch. It's right here. So this is non-motorized boat launch. So what we usually do is we tie the boats up right down here, and then we camp for the night and kind of hang out and stuff. And that's been working really, really good. So that is where Mapleton's at. That is paddling and bassing. That's going to be the start of it. And it's going to be here before you know it, guys. Before you know it. It's 2 weeks and 3 days or something like that, right? I think it was 2 weeks and 3 days. But we're looking at the 31st at 6 p.m. So let me go back to the map here and I'll show you kind of the route, kind of how it goes, okay? So here is Mapleton. What we're going to do is essentially a 2-day, 2-night, 2-day paddling event. So we're going to meet at Mapleton. We're going to camp. And in the morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to paddle. We're going to paddle. We're going to follow the Juniata right here. The Juniata River just goes right along the highway, right down through Mount Union, still following the highway. And it comes to this little town here of Kistler. Right here's Kistler. And if you zoom in on Kistler, once again, there's another ballpark right here. And this is where we're going to actually camp out. So if you can't if you can't make it to the Friday night event, like if you can't make it there for Friday night because you got something going on and you just want to catch up Saturday night, you can do that. But you're going to come to Kistler then and meet us up at this ballpark here. And when you get here to Kistler, you're going to find Nolan Road right here. Right here. And you're going to come back to this ball diamond. So if you get on Nolan Road and just follow it back, it dead ends. So you can't get lost. You'll just have to turn around. But it's right here at the ball field. And you should see it because right here is where we park our cars. That's where we camped, like along the trees and stuff. And our boats were tied up along the river down here and stuff, ready for the morning to go again. So if you want to put in or pull out right here, we'll help you do that. But this is where the location is going to be, in a little town of Kistler, back Nolan Road. And that ballpark there. Again, none of this costs anything to camp, so bring what you need. Bring a tent, bring a sleeping bag, whatever it is, so that you're good to go. That is Saturday night. We're going to hang out there. We're going to wake up Sunday morning, and then we're going to continue this paddling and bassing event, this adventure. If you've never gone on an overnight kayaking trip, you're in for a treat. I think you're really going to enjoy this. But we leave Kistler, and we just head right on down the Juniata. And the Juniata brings us around the big horseshoe here and to our beloved Newton Hamilton. And this is going to be our pull out right here, just after the bridge in Newton Hamilton, right here at the Newton Hamilton boat access. We're going to be shuttling vehicles back and forth too. So You don't have to worry about whether your vehicle's going to be there. You're welcome to shuffle it. You're welcome to let somebody else shuffle it, whatever it is. Hold on a second. My screen got all goofy there. All right. Is everything coming through good? I got a little error message on YouTube. Just let me know if it's still looking good. Give me a little bit of feedback there, if you would, please. But if you've never been on an overnight paddling adventure, think of this as your opportunity because it's all mapped out for you. The water, I want to talk about that. It's very thank you, I appreciate it. I see it. So the skill or the class of the river is very low, which means they're not even class 1, which means you can be a novice and go paddle with us. There's going to be sections of the water where you're actually going to have to, you might have to get out and actually walk, or you have to wiggle your boat to get it across the rocks. So it's very shallow at points. It gets what we call very skinny. That being said, there are parts that it might be more challenging. Just take your time and follow the lines that the other kayakers who are more experienced would do. But we're there to help you. So we're in it together. We're all going to get there as one. It's going to be a good event. You can bring the kids. I'm bringing mine. It's going to be an adventure, and it's going to be a blast. And I hope you guys can make it. Again, there's no cost to it. Just show up either Friday night or Saturday night. Bring stuff to camp with. And if camping is a big no-go for you, for whatever reason, you're welcome to just show up in the morning and do the paddling with us. You can play this however you want. Heck, you can come and just camp and then go home if you want to do it however you want. Josh, I wish you were closer too, man. Let me hit up a little bit of the comments here. You guys have been great for interaction here. I'll make sure I don't miss anything. And thanks again for the countdown, guys. I think that really helps the algorithm, kind of gets it fired off or something. So that's good. I see it being pushed really well here. So thanks for being here for it. Thank you, Josh, for sharing it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you. I think it's going to be, I think we're growing just the right speed. For my charter, I'm just as busy as I want to be. You know what I mean? Oh, I see. Melvin, I'm reading it. You said Facebook and you couldn't get along. Well, I understand that. Yeah, it's all good. Melvin, if your health doesn't let you do it, don't push it. You know, there's other events. I actually have one coming up that might be down your or up your alley, if you will. We're going to do a bank angling event later this year. Just keep an ear out for that. I'll make sure you know about it. All right. That looks fun. Good. Yep, it is. It's a blast. It's a blast. Yep. All right. So I think we're all caught up there. Do you guys have any questions for me? I don't want to stick on this too long, but I got a lot of waters to cover. That was just the first of 3 different new waters to cover. Yeah, the fishing community here at Lewistown, Josh, is incredible. It really is. They're so supportive, and it's cool that we can just get together and fish. You know, it's like when you go to the library, nobody's trying to make you buy something. You know, nobody's trying to run you off. You're welcome. And it's just a good community. It's like it's a safe place or something. I don't know. It's all good. It's really good. Good energies. All right, Rick, yeah, there are plenty of places around that you can rent a kayak if you need to do that. I don't have anybody to recommend other than to say I know there's a place in Huntingdon that has kayaks. I'm pretty sure they rent them, but there's a place right in town, right in Huntingdon. So you could start there. I know Arnold's Marine down along Lewistown Road there. That's I know he rents them out as well. So yeah, there's places around. You can rent kayaks if that's a route you want to take. I want to recommend that you just find somebody that's got one and you borrow it from them so that you don't have any money to put into it. Just save your money for pizza or something. But yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of places. You should be able to find a kayak. There's plenty of places to rent. You know what I mean? All right. Good. So I'm going to get back here. So I'm going to bring you back to the map. All right. So here we are. I'm going to just zoom out so you can see the whole picture again. So here's Lewistown over here. Huntingdon. You're going to follow 22 down to Mapleton. And you guys can see that if you are in the Lewistown fishing community, this is within striking distance for you. This is not a long drive at all. That should not keep you from participating. So find yourself a kayak and come out and enjoy it. And when we leave Mapleton, we're just going to follow the highway essentially until we get down to Kistler. And then from Kistler, we're going to take this horseshoe around and then pull out here in Mapleton somewhere. I think it's actually right there. Yeah, Newton Hamilton. I said Mapleton. So we'll pull out at Newton Hamilton, and that'll be the end of it. Guys, we should finish this on Sunday, sometime in the afternoon. You'll be home plenty of time for supper. It's a pretty good, it's a great paddle, but the river does most of the work for you. It kind of just keeps you moving. And so it's a nice steady flow. There's lots of fishing to have along the way, but fortunately, you don't have to. You're not going to get tired from paddling unless you're choosing to. But it should be a good time. I think you guys will really enjoy it. All right, so while I have the map pulled up, I'm going to zoom out. And guys, I want to talk about new waters. New waters is any waters other than Raystown Lake. And so far tonight, I've shown you the Juniata River. That's what paddling in Bassin is going to be. We're going to be fishing the Juniata. And if you haven't fished the Juniata before, you're in for a treat. And I think you can look online and see what fish species are there and figure out what you want to target and stuff. If you have any questions, by all means, shoot me a text. But here on the map, I want to do this. I'm just going to slide it a little bit here. And I'm going to go. Where am I going? Here we go. All right, follow me. Follow me. So here's Raystown Lake behind my head. So right here's Raystown Lake. And if you go up to State College, Bellefonte, and then Howard, right here's where I'm at. Howard, right here. And we're talking new waters now. So we're in the town of Howard. And in the town of Howard, if this would load, I'll give that a second to load up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys to Bald Eagle State Park, and I'm going to talk to you about Foster Sayers. There are a few fisheries in our local area that are, I would say, just they're special classes of fisheries, meaning they your catch ratios will be other than it'll be extraordinary. So not ordinary, but extraordinary. So I'm going to take you to Bald Eagle State Park here, and this is Foster Sayers in Howard, Pennsylvania. So this is Howard right here, and this is the reservoir at Foster Sayers. So what I do is I meet you up here. There's actually just outside, right inside Howard here, there's a boat dock. This is it right here. It's just you go right into town, and there's signs and everything. It takes you right to the boat dock. This is where I'll meet you. So when you come to fish with me, this is where I'm going to meet you. It's like right in the center. Now, what I did is I found on the net here, I found something that Foster Sayers put together. So I'm going to share this with you because I think they do a great job showing you what I'm thinking. Now, the similarities between Foster Sayers and Raystown Lake, there's a lot of them, and there's a reason for that. It's because they are both Army Corps of Engineers. They're both, reservoirs used for mitigation of flood control and such. So I'm going to share this with you, and then we'll come back to it. It's a short video. I'm going to share it with you, but this is an introduction to Foster Sayers here. So there's a lot of things about Foster Sayers that's very similar to what Raystown is doing it. Think of it as Raystown Lake, but, you know, a tenth of the size or something like that. Let's say a quarter of the size, something like that. But Foster Sayers, and they're going to talk a lot about the history and what the dam is and like what the lake is used for. But us as anglers, what I'm really pointing out to you is this great reservoir that was built. But what they have there, it's really special, are two things. One, crappie. The crappie fishing there is phenomenal, guys. Phenomenal crappie fishing. You're going to have fantastic, phenomenal crappie fishing days when you go up there. And second of all is yellow perch. And I don't know about you, but there's only one fish that I think is better than perch. And that's crappie. And the only one that stands that I could put on the same plate is perch. So perch and crappie, some of the best eating fish that I think you can catch. And we're going to go to Foster Sayers and we're going to have some fantastic fishing adventures up there. I have a couple videos that I've done from the lake already. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because Foster Sayers is directly in front of us. And that's because Memorial Day is right in front of us. With the start of Memorial Day, I'm probably going to jump away from Raystown Lake and start adventuring to other waters. So that's the whole idea, is I'm going to be going out for new waters here. And hopefully you can join me for that and learn some of the lakes that are around the area. If you, I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the comments. Yeah, thank you, Eric. The place to rent kayaks is Rothrock Outfitters in Huntington. Thank you for looking that up for us. Thank you. Wyatt, good evening. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, man. Late or not, I'm glad you're here, man. So Foster Sayers. Yellow perch and crappie is the target. This is a BYOG event. What that means is you're going to bring your own gear. So I want you to bring your crappie fishing and yellow perch fishing gear, and I'm going to put you on fish and let you do some catching. They have like slot limit kind of limitations on what you can take and such. I'm going to help you track that. It's not a big deal. I've got all that stuff under control. You're going to take fish home from this fishing adventure, and if you want to be a part of that, just shoot me a message. It's no problem. I'll talk to you about how to do that. Guys, if you don't have my my phone number yet, right here it is. So put it into your phone and save it. If you have any questions about lake conditions, if you want to reach out to me about going on a fishing trip, that's how you reach me. Shoot me a text, ask me anything, whatever it is. Just put that phone number into your phone so that you have it. It's on randallrydes.com. You could shoot me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook, shoot me a text, give me a phone call, whatever it is. Reach out to me. Make sure we're talking. I know there's a huge group of y'all. We do talk regular, and they can probably vouch for me. When I get a message or a phone call, I respond as best I can. I think I'm 100% on that so far, but who knows? I could be wrong. But yeah, there's my phone number. By all means, put it in your phone. Keep it handy. And if you want to go somewhere with me, that's how you do it. That is Foster Sayers. Now, I did save the best for last. In my opinion, the last new water is my favorite of all of them. So I want to stop right there just for a second. Do you have any questions about Foster Sayers? Maybe something I'm not thinking of that's on your mind? I'd like to hear from you. You guys did such a good job with the interaction there with the countdown at the beginning. So if you have any questions, push it into the chat, or if you want to reach out to me personally, just shoot me a text or phone call. That works fine too, and we'll figure it out. Wyatt, I'm gonna cover that a little bit just in a minute. First, I'm gonna cover new waters. I'm still on that. We covered the Juniata with paddling and bassin directly in front of us, and then Foster Sayers. I'm gonna start chartering up there immediately following Memorial Day. So we're gonna be able to go up there over the summer and have some great crappie and yellow perch fishing. And then third and final, I'll get my next new water with you. Give me 1 second now. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. So Eric posted in the chat there, he got the slot limit that they do. But I'll help you track that too. Whenever you're on the boat with me, I'll make sure you're straight. Just bring your license, bring your own gear. I want you to use your gear for this, and the reason for that is because I think you'll be most confident using your own gear whenever you're going after panfish. I have rods and stuff. If you don't have that stuff, just let me know. I'll make sure that I bring them and I can supply them. But ultimately, I want you to consider at least to bring your own gear, and I'll help you get that stuff in shape so that it's ready to fish. And then we'll go out and we'll just have a good time catching crappie and yellow perch. Okay. Guys, this is what I want to share with you. This is probably my favorite thing about the internet nowadays is that you can pull up cool things like this. Right now, this is a live feed of, I want to make it a little bit smaller here. This is a live feed of the dock that I use up at Erie. This is at Walnut Creek, and it is, as you can see, the water conditions are really great. So I wish that this was the right time to be going up and doing some fishing, but the timing just isn't quite right. The timing for Lake Erie, when you're leaving Erie, Pennsylvania, is usually July and August. And so you'll notice that my Erie trips are going to be built around July and August. And I've already started booking those trips up. So if you guys want to get involved, you want to come up and fish the big water, you let me know. Shoot me a text. I'll give you some dates. Or you can go to randallrydes.com right here, and you can look up the fishing section. You can go to my calendar. And you can just shoot over here. There's May, June, July, and you see some dates right here in July. And you see some dates, there's Sturgis, in August as well. So you can always find where I'm at. If you just want to know, if you want to know just where Randall is, you can just go look at my calendar. And the dates that don't have things marked on, well, that's just my free time. I'm going to do what I want to do. So reach out to me if I want to charter at Lewistown or charter at Foster Sayers. That's whenever I'll be doing that stuff. But Walnut Creek here, the one thing I want to point out, the fact is this isn't the best time to be targeting walleye out of Walnut Creek. And I know that's true, too, because look at the slips. They're all empty. The fishing boats just aren't there. There's a couple of them kind of putting in and putting out. They're starting to, we'll say they're starting to, explore. They're going on some exploration trips. But ultimately, we know that it's still just a little bit early. It's going to swing out over the waters. You're going to get a good view of the lake. And it is calm right now. The water looks great. I wish that the timing was right to be fishing for them because the water looks great. Now, with all this being said about Lake Erie, I do plan on going up prior to, look at that beautiful, beautiful sky. Wow, that's awesome. If you want to do an evening sunset cruise while catching walleye off Lake Erie, you let me know. I'm your man. I'll get you out there. It's beautiful up there, guys. And it's great fishing. Fantastic fishing, really. World-class fishing. World-class. It's hard to find a fishery that you can fish so proficiently and have so much success. So Lake Erie, it's really special. Hopefully you can work that into your schedule. The first trip that I'm going up is going to be in June. So that's a little bit early. But it is early. It's about the first chance that I'll have to go up that it's still good fishing. So if you want to go on my early expedition to Lake Erie, this is like a scouting trip. I have full confidence we're going to be able to catch. That's not the issue. It's just I'm going to be figuring some stuff out so that the charters through the rest of the year are more effective, if you will. But if you want to join me for that earlier trip, I'm going to be up there June 18th through the 21st. June 18th through the 21st. So if you go up here and you look at my calendar, you see June 18th through the 21st does not have anything on it. But that's the block of time that I have set up that I'm going to go. And if you guys have freedom to be able to go up, this is during the week. This is Tuesday through Friday. My plan is to go up here Monday and camp over. And then I have a couple days to get out on the water and do a little bit of fishing, kind of figuring it out and stuff. If anybody wants to come out during that block of time, this is June 18th through the 21st. I don't have anybody booked for these days yet. I do have one person I'm talking to, but I haven't ironed that. I haven't nailed that down yet. So if you want to get out on the water earlier in the year, that is the earliest that I'm going to be up there. And then other than that, we got July, and you see the dates right here. I'm going to be up there for 2 weeks. And then in August, I'm going to be up there for, again, 2 weeks. So Lake Erie is the third new water for you to look into, if you will. Whew. Good grief. Did I drop my page? I think I did. So, 3 new waters for you guys to think about, to consider. And I'm going to be on all 3 of them. I do want to talk about Raystown specifically because I know that's something that we're worried about. Obviously, that's our group here, huh? Give me a second to kind of get caught up with the comments. All right, I think we're all caught up. Good deal. So, before we wrap this live stream up, I, of course, want to talk about Raystown Lake with you. So, before I do that, do you have any specific questions? Wyatt, you asked, is there much happening at Lake Raystown? What are you thinking? I could go on and on. You know, Lake Raystown is it's my favorite place on earth. So I could just go on and on about it. But if you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So there's a couple things I'll say about Lake Raystown. Number one, probably the most important as far as I'm concerned, as far as my opinion anyway, is the jig bite is on. So at Raystown Lake, you can, of course, do a fishing charter. And if you want to book one, there's that one there. And then Lake Erie. But the jig bite is definitely on. So if you guys don't have the means to do some jig fishing for Lakers, right there is the jigging lure. You're welcome to pick that up. And I do plan on doing my jigging trips. The trips are a seat. You just purchase a seat to come out and jig Lakers with me. So when it gets really hot, when I'm really dialed in and we really have something figured out, I'm going to offer those trips so that we can go out and just really get on the fish. This is a 100% jigging trip. We don't troll, don't use live bait, nothing like that. It's 100% artificial lures. And you can bring a lure if you want to try it out. You can bring your gear. I have all the gear if you don't want to do that. It's all provided. But these jigging trips, those are coming up as well, so keep an ear out. That is at Raystown Lake. So that's not new water, but the jig bite is on. All that just to say the jig bite is on. Absolutely 100%. So go out and do some jigging and post pictures. Post some pictures. Yeah, awesome adventures ahead. You're right, Melvin. I said at the Veterans Barbecue that last year was incredible. It really was. And really special. There were incredible moments, great fishing trips and such. And this community is just learning how to fish this lake together, and I'm just a part of that, and y'all are just as big a part of it. You guys are the bigger part of that, I should say, because you're the whole community. I'm one guy. But last year was big, and it was amazing and incredible. I think last year is going to look small compared to the year ahead. Eric's right. There's a lot of fish being caught at Raystown Lake right now. There's a couple reasons for that. One, the Lakers are holding up high in the column, fairly high, so you can go out and drag spoons in less than 30 feet and pick Lakers up. I found that is more productive to actually drag spoons shallow. When I'm running my downrigger, the deeper one doesn't pick up nearly as many fish as the shallower one. So stay out of the trees, go out and do some dragging right now. You don't even have to be that deep. But get it down a little bit, maybe about 20 to 30 feet, and stay out of the trees. But yeah, they're picking up a lot of Lakers like that. I will also point out with Raystown Lake right now, other than the jig bite being on, the second thing is the night bite is fantastic, guys. If you haven't been out on the water at night, casting the shorelines, I'm telling you to tie something big on and use some 20-pound test and chuck that line into the bank, and I think you'll be really glad that you did. They're doing really good right now, catching striper, catching the big target fish, if you would, from Lake Raystown, just casting and plugging late at night, right through the night too. So right now it's great to be out at the night bite is fantastic. So Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a big deal because the lake gets insane. If you haven't been on the lake during a holiday, well, you're smart. You've avoided it on purpose probably. But if unfortunately you ended up out there whenever the traffic is heavy, you know it's insane. So how do you deal with that? Lake Raystown is a destination for a lot of out-of-towners who come out and they just rip up the lake, rip down the lake, rip up the lake, just so they can rip down the lake. So there's a lot of wake going to be thrown, and it's going to be 8 boats wide. It's going to be wild. It's going to be just insane. So what does that mean? As far as fishermen, that doesn't really help us much because we kind of want to find a place where we can fish and not have the boat toss on us and such. So what do you do? Well, it's the 2 things. One, I already told you, night bite. If the night bite is fantastic, so you go out and you just fish during that nighttime block. But number 2, what does it really mean? What hours? What I've noticed from my years of fishing at Raystown Lake is the crowd's stomachs control when they're on the water. So whenever it's supper time, they're off the water. Whenever breakfast is done, they're back onto the water. Do your fishing between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's that night bite time, but that's a 12-hour window. Those are the times to focus on here over the summer when the water is just turbid with all the activity of the pleasure boating community that is part of Raystown Lake, a very important part of Raystown Lake. I'm part of that community. I like to just go swim sometimes. I like to take my kids and rip up and down the lake a little bit. It's fun. And that's part of our community too. And I think most of you guys understand that you are part of that community most of the time too. But when you go out to fish, it's different, right? You want to find some place kind of tucked in. So the night bite, that 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that 12-hour window of time, that's what you want to do is focus on that. And then number 2, what I was trying to get to is number 2, coves. Find yourself back in the coves. Find yourself off of the main channel as much as you can. And you can usually find some peace back there. No wake zones are throughout the lake. You can go up by, so 7 Points has a no wake zone there near it. And you can also do Snyder's has a huge no wake area. This is a good fishing area and a lot of no wakes. You don't have to deal with the heavy boat traffic. And in the back of Beer Barrel Bay as well. Trough Creek as well. If you go back in Trough Creek far enough, it's a no wake zone. Am I missing any? I think that's it. Weaver Falls. Weaver Falls has a no wake zone as well. So the no wake zones, if you're looking to get away from the traffic for a little bit, just look for the no wake area and hang out right there. That's the answer. That's Raystown Lake. Wyatt, you asked, is there much going on? Is there much happening at Raystown Lake? Yeah, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of things changing right now. We're going from what I would call the spring bite. We hit Memorial Day, guys. The spring bite's over. If you want something very measurable to know what the spring bite is, so it divides the spring bite from the summer, it's the water temperature. If you haven't heard this before, the surface temperature of water, when it gets to 70 degrees, the spring bite is over. Just put that behind you. At 70 degrees, releasing fish is, there's a higher mortality rate, if you will. So if the water temperature is above 70 and you take a fish, Lakers are kind of an exception to that. They have a pretty good recovery rate. Just get them down in the water as fast as you can. I'm guilty. I would tell you, don't take the fish out of the water. Leave it in the net. And take your picture in the net and stuff. But I'm guilty of that because I want to pick the fish up and hold it in front of the camera for y'all or for myself just to have a picture. But I would say this. If you're going to go out and you catch a dozen Lakers, leave 9 of them in the net. Never even take them out because they're smaller ones. Maybe it's not a big deal. Just take a picture with it down there with your hands and let them go. Get them down in the water so they never come out of the water. And then the bigger ones that you're interested in getting a picture of, just limit how many you're getting out of the water if you can. Handling fish well is part of being a responsible, conservative fisherman. So try to learn some of those practices. And then specifically, guys, if you're catching striped bass and the water temperature is over 70, take it home. Just take it home. The mortality rates on striped bass whenever they're removed from the water over 70 degrees. 70 degrees it's just a death sentence. I know you're going to release it and I know he's going to swim off, but the chances of him actually surviving, I'm talking about 2 days later, is very slim to nil. You're releasing a dead fish. You're releasing a dead fish. So I am pro harvest. Whenever the water temperature is over 70 degrees, I am pro harvest. So I'll harvest more fish in the summer than I do all through the spring bite. Honestly, I don't know if I harvested one over the spring bite. Some clients did, but me personally, I didn't take any home. So my opinion, I know a lot of that stuff is just opinionated stuff, and I know there's some that's a hot topic thing. I don't mind. I'm going to share my opinion. I believe we all have it. And I'm allowed to have mine too. So that's that. I want to thank you guys for tuning in for these live streams, man. I've had a lot of fun doing them. It helps us kind of keep connected. I'm on the water more than what most of the fishing community, you guys. I'm on the water much more than what you guys can be. So I see the changes and I see the trends regularly, and it's nice to be able to come and just talk with you about them and answer any questions, at least give you some insight. So if you end up at the lake, if you get a day off and you can just shoot up and do a little bit of fishing, at least you have something to gauge it with. And if you forgot or you didn't catch the whole live stream or you forgot what I covered, it's recorded. You can come back and watch it later. But you guys have been great on these live streams with the interaction. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you haven't visited my website yet, go to it. It is randallrydes.com. And you just go to the fishing. I want to say the fall, late fall, I think. But anyways, but down below that is the charter, and I had some issues with this charter. Some people were booking, they're buying 2 charters at once, so it will let you do that. I do that by design. If I'm doing a full day trip for somebody, it's just 2 charters, so it's back-to-back charters. So there's 2 of them, right? So they would just purchase 2. But if you just want to do a single charter, just purchase 1 of them. So when you do it, make sure the number just says 1, not 2. And then the same thing is true with the Lake Erie charter as well. And if you haven't picked up the jigging lure yet, I did make them. I am well stocked with them. So by all means, guys, I want to share this with you. With that jigging lure, I just mailed off here in the last 2 or 3 weeks, 2 orders notably. One went to Montana, and the other one went to Washington State. The opposite side of the country, man. My fishing lure, my little jigging lure is all the way over there. I just think that's the coolest thing, man. Someone over there is going to catch some fish, and it's going to be with my lure. My lure is getting out there. People are catching fish with it, and it's an awesome thing. I'm so excited. So the jigging lure is there if you want it, and if you guys want to do the ride-along ticket with me to do a jigging trip, I will take you out and personally teach you how to use this jig, and we'll get on the fish. Those dates are undisclosed at the moment. I haven't decided which days to do that, but shoot me a text that simply says Lakers. There, I highlighted it on the video, right there. It's tough to do this because everything's in a mirror. So right there, it's highlighted for you. Just get my phone number into your phone. Shoot me a text that says Lakers, and I'll make sure that you're on my list whenever I start doing those jigging trips. I'll get you out there. That is the cheapest way to get on Raystown Lake. I do have the single cheapest way to go out with a charter on Raystown Lake, and I'm happy to say that I'm providing that. I think that that is one of the biggest benefits that my charter can offer this community. So there's the jig and lure. If you want to come out and learn how to do it, I will give you a personal tutorial to it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm not going to say bye just yet, but this is the end of the live stream. So do you guys have any questions for me before I sign off? Bruce, you're very welcome. We share information around here because we want to be better. We want to be better fishermen, better stewards for our water. The old culture of keeping that stuff to yourself and not talking to anybody and then complaining because the youth isn't out there fishing anymore just doesn't make any sense. It is gone by wayside. I don't want to take anything to the grave with me. I don't know how I served my community, my friends and the Raystown community especially, but the fishing community are the future, the kids. I don't know how I've served them if I don't teach them what I know. I'm going to hang out for a minute. Make sure that I've answered everybody's questions. And then I think what I'm going to do while I'm sitting here is I'm going to bring up it's right here. Okay. Know why it's not loading. Yeah, Facebook's not loading for me right now. Not sure what's up. It don't matter. I was just going to bring up paddling and bass in there, so we had that to look at. All right, guys. I think I'm going to say night with that. I think that's all I got. I have a message here on Facebook. Let me just read this real quick to make sure I'm not missing somebody. Sometimes, you know, you guys send me a message on Messenger. I do, I guess I could say this. I do have days open even this week. I have let's see, what is today? Today is Tuesday. I have Thursday and Friday still open this week. So if you guys want to fish, you can reach out to me. I can still get you out there. I'm pulling a lot of live bait, and of course we're pulling spoons for Lakers. But we're shooting we're trolling the banks with live bait, and then we're pulling spoons for Lakers. So we're doing pretty good with that stuff. If you guys want to come out and do a little fishing with me, I have 2 days available this week yet. Yeah, Facebook's just not loading for me. All good. Okay. Let's say goodnight, guys. I appreciate all your interaction, all your questions. They help make the live stream go smoother. And if we haven't talked in person, I hope to do that one day. If I see you at the dock, or if you see me at the dock, rather, sometimes I've just got my tunnel vision on and I'm putting my boat in the water. I might miss you. I have no problem. Just shout out, "Hey, Randall," and I'll come over and we'll talk. I'll make sure I say hi to you, maybe take a picture with you and stuff. But at the very least, I want to come over and shake your hand and thank you for watching and being part of this community. So thank you guys very much. I'm going to let you go with that. Much love and much respect. See ya.